Hi everyone, Dr. Payne here from Dr. Payne Effects. I'm sorry for the hiatus. My university has been on spring break and I have been utilizing that break because I've really needed it. But you may have noticed that our YouTube channel has changed a bit. Moving back towards our original mission of combining behavior analysis and pedals and other musical equipment all together so that they are one happy family. So you may notice the names of some of our shows change, some of the format change a little bit, and I'm going to be putting out more content on behavior analytic principles, starting with the behavior analytic principles covered by our new revamp program of Good, Better, Best. So what was formerly Good, Better, Best is now called functional analysis. So I'm going to put up a longer video explaining what exactly that is, but a functional analysis is basically what we were already doing. We are having a pedal, in this case, our organism, experience three different environmental setups. Our solid state amp, our small tube amp, and our boutique amp. And we are trying to see what kind of response we get from the pedal from each of those different conditions. So in behavior analysis, typically what we're looking for is what is causing the behavior, or in this case, we're seeing what is causing the best tone. So we are trying to determine under what conditions we get the best tone out of these pedals. And so our conclusion will cover that. So stay tuned and go check out our first new episode of this new format featuring Pinebox Crooked Teeth. Let's go ahead and test it out on our solid state, our Fender Montreux. So here's the clean sound. Playing through our Fender Jazzmaster with our Porter wide range style humbuckers. Alright, let's go ahead and activate the pedal. As you can see, I've currently got depth all the way down and rates pretty low. And I'll have them at this setting here. So you can hear the bypass, what that preamp really does. Hear the texture with it a little bit. So where we have texture set, we're definitely getting kind of a starved fuzz. It gets a little noisy as we increase it. If I turn my volume down, definitely a bit more overdriven. Definitely gets louder as you move it to the right. And of course, we can turn the texture Alright, so that's the preamp, and that is always on. So, like I said, we have our two independent tempos trims here. So we're just going to operate on the first one. So as I increase that rate, you can see the LED start to flash. and that's going to dictate what the speed is. Hopefully the shutter rate doesn't mess with that. So we're going to do it at kind of a medium rate, kind of a medium depth. So I'm starting to get a little bit of that trim in there. And we're on this kind of zigzaggy waveform where it initially dips, rises, and then dips again. Let's turn the depth up a little more. Turn it up even more. Let's kind of settle in here. Let's mess with the other one a little bit too. We're going to turn that one up really fast. Now note, if you're running a 2-amp setup, one of these would go to 1 amp and the other to the other amp. But because I'm merging them back together, getting it all through one. So our second trim here can go way faster. Definitely has an interesting. Now, one thing I can do is flip this switch to invert the LFOs. That's going to give me a very different sound to the trims. You'll hear the difference. Also creates almost a more of a gated sound on the fuzz side. And the tap tempo just brings them both in sync. For some reason, the LED on mine in this inverted mode seems to not work, but works fine the other way. So I don't know if that's just my pedal, but most likely it's probably just an issue with my particular pedal. So now you've heard it through our solid state. Let's hear it through our small tube amp. Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing through our small tube condition. Here's the clean sound. And here is the crooked teeth. Here's just the preamp. The depth of the trims are down to 0. Definitely getting a bit more distortion from the tubes getting overblown. Definitely some cool sounds in there. Let's go ahead and throw on one of the trims. Just turn the depth up a little. This one comes through a little bit more pronounced than it did on the previous one. Let's turn the rate up. Let's get the other one going. let's mess with some of the waveforms here too. And invert it. So there you have it. Definitely gets some of that warmer tube feel. The preamp is overdriving the tubes a little bit, so it sounds a bit different. So let's finally try it on our boutique tube amp. And here we are with the boutique amp condition. Here's the clean sound. Much more bass and mids responsive sound from this, so it'll be interesting to see what it sounds like. So here it is with just the preamp. That's cool. Turn the volume knob down on my guitar a little bit. Let's play with the texture a bit. Ooh, it's pretty loud. Just gonna turn that output down a little bit. So, nice thing about this is that through the boutique amp, I'm finding a lot more usable tones than I found through the other two. Let's see if when I invert the LFOs, we see the same thing. Yeah. So in terms of the response of this pedal, at least on the preamp side, we're definitely getting the best sounds out of our boutique condition. Let's start adding in some of the tempo. Now, the one downside, as you can hear, is that I'm getting a lot of noise, which I wasn't quite getting from the other amp. So I think that's kind of your trade-off here. Really good sounding preamp, but a lot noisier for sure. So let's hear how it sounds. Sorry, let me just do one at a time. And there you have it. All right, now that we have finished conducting our functional analysis, it's time to figure out which of these three conditions we got the best tone from. Now, in my opinion, I felt that in the solid state condition, the pedal sounded great. Maybe a little bit raspy, could be due to the Fender that I'm using. They tend to have a brighter high end. But overall, really good. The tremolo came through crystal clear, some really, really cool sounds. We also got similar sounds, a bit darker, I would say, through our small tube amp. But I would say, all in all, the boutique tube amp wins solely because there are more usable tones on the drive side of the pedal. So that is my thoughts on this. If you have different thoughts, or if you have tried this pedal on other amps and thought it sounded really good, mention so in the comments. And if it's your first time here, make sure to like this video, and if you like what we're putting out, please subscribe. See you later.